So we're talking today with Ron Scott, and Ron, you are a candidate for County Commission seat District 2 this year.
That's correct.
Can you tell us a little bit why you decided to run?
Well, I've been following county politics for many, many years, as you well know. And I keep seeing what I think is a failure as far as management is concerned, good, decent leadership. And I don't see us really going in the proper direction. When we look at things like Team Santa Rosa, which needs to be regrouped, revitalized, redone. I'm concerned about the TDC, although that's not a direct function of the
That's the Tourist
Board.
Development Council.
Right, Tourist Development Council. We missed a golden opportunity when we had this oil spill, which is could still bite us in the wrong places before it's all over and done. So I just think they need a better management, a better way to do things within the tax structure that we currently have.
What do you see as emerging as the major issues in coming years?
The budget's going to be the budget and jobs, economic development. They're going to go hand in hand. If we can't get new businesses, especially the small business, we do a lot for enhancements and stuff for the large, like, let's hit the $1 million jackpot here and get this large company in. But our small businesses, any community must maintain a good basis for the small community. And if you don't have small business supporting a small community, a small county, we're destined to fail. We're in for some hard budget times over the next 2 or 3 budgets, very hard budget times, and we've got to be able to react to this now and be proactive on it instead of always reactionary like our county tends to do.
And you talking about economic development. We've had several people sort of mention the way that it's structured now, and you talked about that a little bit too, where we've got a separate entity and then we just give them a check every year. Would you change that at all?
I would change that. I would change it. We must have an economic development arm. That's a given. And currently it's Team Santa Rosa. Team Santa Rosa is grossly mismanaged as far as I am concerned. One of my primary goals and projects will be to do something with Team Santa Rosa, do something with the management there. I think it's well timed that we go ahead and change management. That's been proven when Cindy Anderson tried to move over to Escambia County here not too terribly long ago, unannounced at the last minute. I think that was terribly wrong. It was a slap in the face of all the taxpayers, and I don't think that should have happened. So that's an indication to me that the team just needs some better leadership and better guidance, and it's up to the Board of County Commissioners to go ahead and provide that and make changes where changes are needed.
We've heard a lot of criticism of the Pullen property purchase. What's your take on that?
I think it's a good location at a fair price, contrary to what some may say if you look at the surrounding prices. But it's entirely at the wrong time. We don't need it. We certainly did not need it at all. True, the money did not come out of our general revenue fund. It came out of grants and everything that couldn't have been used for much of anything else. But with the budget constraints that we have, that was just a slap in the face to the taxpayers of this county, I think. The location is wonderful. The property is okay, acceptable. If our current industrial park was already just jam-packed and we really had to have some place, then I would say, yeah, that was the right thing to do. But given everything else going with it, I think that was wrong for them to do that at this time.
And you talked about the budget. Any kind of specific areas you change or look at right away if you got in there?
Number one thing I would do was let's take a look at all the departments. I think we can realign some of the departments. We have overlap of duties with some of the departments. Yes, the county has cut back about 120, 130 positions over the last couple of years through attrition and retirement. But all of these were not all of them, basically most of them were at the lower level. We are way top heavy in our management structure within the county system. Do you realize that there is one supervisor of one shape, sort, or another, supervisor or manager, for every 5.5 employees? You can't function that way. We are far too top heavy. So if we realign things, and I'm not saying, let's not go out there and fire everybody and do all this other weird stuff that's going to affect families and the employees within the county. But if we realign it, and if we go ahead and do things in a nice, sensical way. Oh, you have a visitor. In a nice, sensical way.
He's a fan.
Is he a fan? Good. we can accomplish that, but it's just going to take making the hard decisions. Let's realign it. Let's look at everything. We cannot continue business as usual. It's just not going to work.
And as far as then economic development, how do you bring those businesses in? I mean, do you have any kind of strategy for that, or have you
You referring to the smaller businesses or the larger,
either way,
or just all of them?
Yeah, I mean, what kind of long-term strategy do they need to switch to?
I think they have the right idea, but I think the incentives are being placed at the wrong place at the wrong time in the wrong manner. We've got to be certain that when we go ahead and offer an incentive, that it be longer than 5, 6, or 7 years. Don't give it all to them in that short period of time, because as we have seen, things are, they use that time, then they may go somewhere else. The problem we have now, and it's not all gloom and doom, Deborah, don't misunderstand me, because we do see some positive things already. 84 Lumber reopening. That vacant lot next to 84 Lumber, where they're turning that into a parking lot for an expansion for a business that's currently in the industrial park, which I don't understand. They won't release the information yet, but we have county employees down there working on Saturdays to prepare the site. That bothers me. Have we included all those costs into it? But back to your original question, what else would we do? We've got to make sure the incentives are there and they are properly structured. If they leave, I mean, if it takes more liens on the property, on the business, bond up front, whatever it takes to get what we need out of it. And then we've got to also incorporate some incentives for your small businesses, which we do absolutely nothing for the small business. Dollar General is getting ready to, they're going through the permitting process now to open up another store on Garcon Point Road, Highway 191, just north of the interstate. Team Santa Rosa didn't have anything to do to bring that in. The new Family Dollar store up at 87 and 89. That's another one that came in on their own. Small jobs, lower paying jobs, but at least they're jobs and it's a step in the right direction. Maybe we need to take the economic development to that direction also, instead of just the one big hit.
Gotcha.